If you are part of, how should we put this nicely, a devout religious system, does that become your whole identity? It's what we talked about in our episode of the Candid Conversations that came out today on the Dan and Can podcast. And in there, I recount a story that kind of highlighted this for me because Candy started talking about this loss of identity within the religious systems, how you become what the system tells you what you are. And it reminded me when me and Candy started dating back in college many, many moons ago. And I was Catholic, born and raised, always grew up. And it was never a forefront of my personality or anything like that. My Catholicism was just kind of there. I never introduced myself as a Catholic. I never put it out to people. It never came up in conversation. Part of that was because I grew up and went to Catholic high school and grade school and all that, and it was just the environment I was around. It was kind of understood. But even outside of them elements, it was never a forefront of anything that I was. So when Candy and I started dating, she was evangelical. She started asking me about church, and I wasn't very good at it. So I told her when I was at college, I went to the university chapel service on a Sunday. She was pleased, but not 100% pleased because it wasn't the right kind of church. So as we were dating, and me and my buddy were going to this church, she invited me to a youth service on the university campus, led by a bunch of college kids and all that. And we went, and it was my first experience in an evangelical church. And yeah, eyes were opened at what was going on there. And I remember afterwards people coming up to me, and just automatically this natural walls started going up. Defenses were raised on the way they were presenting themselves to me. Of, I had to tell them I was Catholic. No, it's all right. No, it was good service, but I'm Catholic. And it came out that just after looking at this, many years later, that this was the personality. This was their forefront. This was their identity. This was everything to them, especially in this moment. And they had to make sure everyone knew this and put it out. And it was sad when I look back on it because eventually I did become evangelical, and I was there too, where I had to live up to this expectation that the church set for me. And I had to be performative in what I did and my prayers and everything, that I had to act in the evangelical circles. It wasn't who I was, it was who the church and my peers were telling me to be, which is a sad state to have to live through.